we kind of podcast without the lights being turned on. So in 3, 2, 1. Third time lucky. You know what? We said we would only be posting after we've done 20. We're only 6 away now.
We're close. We're really close. I just set my phone on Do Not Disturb so no one disturbs us.
Yeah, we've been doing that more often recently. I feel like the last few podcasts we've gotten better.
It's a slow improvement. It's definitely a slow improvement.
Other than last episode, we're gonna have to. They've already watched episode 13 if they're watching 14, but yeah, obviously there was a intermission. There was a few intermissions in that podcast. It's because I went on a very weird tangent that we both agreed was
not suitable.
Yeah, not suitable for our audience.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
We'll roll with that one. We walked out. That's probably what the title's going to be.
Yeah, walked out.
We walked out. No context. I just have to watch the podcast and see why he walked out, which you probably won't find in there because
it would have been.
They cut it out.
Yeah, it's probably cut out. That's for no one to know and no one to ever find out.
But we know. We know exactly what happened. And we're still here, episode 14, knowing that can happen again.
I made a commitment this week.
Did you?
I did.
To what?
I became someone I never thought I'd be. And
Oh no.
I bit the bullet and I am now a fully fledged group training person. I am. But it's good. It's actually really good. It's like you doing your jits. It's the same equivalent as you doing your jits. It's something that I enjoy. I like absolutely murdering myself with a ski erg or a rowing machine to the point where I can't walk. Yeah. Why are you trying to make a thumbnail or something?
Yeah. That's going to be the thumbnail of the video. Ray joins a cult.
Probably going to be.
That's going to be the name of the video. Ray joins a cult and it's my face.
But yeah, so I joined a group training studio called C3 Training.
Cult 3 Training.
That's probably what the C stands for.
I'm not shitting on group training studios. They're great. They're great. I would just never join one myself.
Yeah, it's definitely a personal preference thing.
But that's the thing. Everyone has their own sports, activities, things that they like more than other things.
Yeah. This fell into my lifestyle. I think that's the most important thing is like...
What fits into your lifestyle
into your lifestyle and what you know that you can manage within your lifestyle. And if you learn how to manage one thing, then the next thing you go on to will be easier to manage.
Yes, 100%. I'm a firm believer in people choosing the path that fits them best.
100%.
Like one of my first ever clients, and I still say it to this day, I was the one that introduced her to the world of health and fitness. Before me, she never trained, she never did any exercise. The most thing that she would do would be going on a casual walk with her friends, max. So I introduced her to the whole world of training, and someone that is so against group training, she's actually joined F45, and she loves it.
Yeah.
Loves it, raves about it, goes all the time, and I never told her to go there.
Yeah.
She just tried it out at one time, and now she's fallen in love with the whole concept. And have I ever told her to stop? No way. No. Why would I tell someone to stop doing something that they love?
Yeah.
And that she probably anyone would view maybe my sports as a bit weird. Not weird. Just like something that they would not do.
It's odd in their world.
Yeah, it's exactly. Like
foreign to them.
Yeah.
To hear you doing something like jiu-jitsu, it's like,
yeah, jiu-jitsu. So the way I would describe jiu-jitsu to people that don't know, it's basically a bunch of people on mats just humping each other and deciding who wins, who gets on top, and who gets to get the most points for being on top for the longest period of time. Obviously, I'm rolling around with other males. So it's a bunch of males just trying to spear each other into the ground and submit each other. So I'm just riding my friends all day in that jiu-jitsu gym. That's my basic explanation of what jiu-jitsu is.
Jiu-jitsu is Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and it is the art of grappling. That is what you should have said.
Okay, that's a technical definition.
That is the definition. Full stop.
That is the
period.
definition, right? But, you know, I still view it as I'm getting on top of my friends and trying to submit them. And I'm whispering in Jono's ear while we're rolling. I just started a new sport, jiu-jitsu, obviously I just explained it, with one of my friends. And me and him mostly, like, obviously rolled together. That's what we do. And he's 20 kilos lighter than me. So obviously I've got the weight advantage and also a bit of a strength and physical advantage over him because of the extra weight. But then he's a lot more agile and quick. A lot quicker. So there's this thing called passing guards where one person starts on the floor, one person starts on top. For a jiu-jitsu athlete, they like being on the floor anyway. So for them, they like to be on the floor, have that control of the person coming around them. And they're just really good at shifting their body weight around. So then their legs are always facing the opponent. Jono, somehow, just always passes my guard because I feel like he's going this way, so I start shifting. Then he just does a quick turn. He's around my head and he just knocks down. And I'm just like, man, I can't do anything about this. So I just have to go for a strong squeeze and then wait until he gives up, and then that's how I go in.
And looking at both what... Gonna take that out. Looking at both what you do and what I do, I feel like there's a... There's a challenge. Yeah, I know you're sweating like you're literally dripping sweat. There's definitely a challenge when it comes to joining something or starting something new like that. And it sometimes comes down to the discipline, the resilience, the actual motivation to get up and go to it, like committing to it. There are a whole lot of things. Like your one, you have to commit to two sessions a week.
Yeah, I feel like for me, I like giving myself hard tasks or things that I'm really shit at the start, but then my goal is to get really good at them. So for example, jiu-jitsu, right now I'm a noob. I'm very, very, very shit. At the moment.
You're fresh.
I'm fresh. I'm new to it. So, you know, I'm there rolling and trying to learn all these new moves, but then putting them all together in an actual situation, I wouldn't know what to do. But that's what for me, that's what is fun about it, because I'm going into this new arena where I don't know anything about it, and I'm just learning as time goes on. And I find that to be pretty cool. And I know for you, like your group training, you haven't been doing group training for a while. So for you, it's like entering a new gym, joining this new community of people that you don't know or you didn't know before. Maybe some of them you did know, and then getting to know them and being in that environment.
Yeah, definitely both are a community-based environment. Both as competitive as each other.
Would you ever join High Rocks?
What's that?
You haven't heard of it?
What's High Rocks?
So you're a full group training human. You don't know what High Rocks is. It's basically like
Altitude training?
No. It's High Rocks is like I have to get it up so I can explain it better. All I know of it is it's like a competition where you can do it partnered up, like maybe just 1 or 2 people, or 1 to 4 people, and then your goal is to go through the course as fast as possible with your partner. And there's stuff like broad jumps, burpees, ski ergs. You know, it's all the stuff you do in a group training studio, but you're going up against other people to see how fast you can get through it. It's basically, they do it. They do it everywhere.
all over the world. Houston, Copenhagen,
Malaga. Yeah, I saw one in Sydney. But anyways, yeah. So they do them all over the world. It's a massive thing. Maybe have a look at the actual competition.
There's Perth, Brisbane. I don't even know about this.
Look,
Yeah,
it's exactly what you would do in
I'm doing something similar to that on Sunday.
like a 1,000-meter run, 5 rounds of squats, burpees, sit-ups, push-ups. So like, and they do sled pushes, sled pulls, stuff like that. And then it's about who can get what team or what individual can get through the whole course as fast as possible, or the fastest, and then that would be deemed the champion or the winner.
There's a lot
High
of
rocks athlete.
there's a lot of resilience in that. But what's your definition of resilience? To someone comes up to you and says, Brendon, what the hell does resilience mean? Oh my god, it's so hot.
I wouldn't say I'm a dictionary.
Yep.
So I'm going to be explaining this to what I know of the word, and what I know of the word might be different to what someone else defines the word as. I see resilience as someone that does not give up. That would be like my basic definition of it.
You look very dark in that corner.
Yeah, I know. Let me get this light in. It's because I'm very tanned, so I blend in with the black. Alright, so resilience is basically, to me, I would define resilience as someone that is does not give up. Does not give up at all. So they could be given a mountain to climb, or like, let's say, I would say that someone is resilient if they're given a task like climbing Mount Everest.
Yep.
And they just keep on going. Even if they know they're going to die in the next step, they just keep on going. Because they're just very resilient. They don't give up. They're very able to just keep on putting the steps forward, not knowing when it's going to pop off. And a really good explanation of that would be someone, social media influencers. You know, not all of them would have blown up overnight. A lot of them it would have taken them years. So an example of this would be Adam, you know, evidence-based training, EBT. He said in one of his videos that it took him 8 years before he started getting any return from posting every single day on social media. So he was posting every day on Instagram, and you can see how many posts he's got up on his page, and he'd got no return. Like, he wasn't getting followers, he wasn't getting paid from anything. But then after those 8 years, he was finally getting rewards. He was getting followers, he was getting inquiries, he built his business. But it took 8 years of grinding. I would say he was very resilient in times that he was receiving no return to keep going, not knowing when it was going to be that it was going to pay off.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, another explanation of this would be not having your watch or your phone connected to you when you're going for a run, and still being able to keep on going. You're very resilient. In your mind, you're like, oh, I'm just completing this task. I'm just going to keep on going until I stop. A very resilient person will just keep on going. They won't stop.
It's a good way to define it. It's a very good way to define it. I feel like
it's all about mental toughness.
It is. It does come down to mental
toughness.
What are some ways of like building resilience? Do you think? Because like a way of building resilience for me is repetition. I feel. Yeah. Like building up to something like
being comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's my best way to explain it to someone, is like, be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because if they're comfortable with being uncomfortable, they're going to be able to face tougher challenges in their life.
That's true.
If they're not, then when they get uncomfortable or they face a difficult situation, instead of going headstrong and going into it, they're going to pull back and hide away and be like, oh no, that's too uncomfortable for me, I'm out. You know, and then they're going to give up at that. When anything becomes too tough, they're like, yeah, I'm out. Whereas you should be, as a resilient person, going for it. Just going for it.
I agree. I think a good method to sort of practice being resilient is just starting off with something small and going towards that goal. So, for instance, let's say you want to aim to get, let's say on a rowing machine, you want to get 100 cows in under 8 minutes. All right. Let's peel back the banana the onions. Let's use the analogy of onions.
Ogres are like onions.
Shrek. And if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Good old Shrek. But
Shrek is love, Shrek is life.
That's the most video. But anyway, building resilience is like,
if you know, you know.
Getting to the center of that core of the onion. So you got to obviously go layer by layer. So 100 cows on the rower in 8 minutes is definitely doable. It won't be something that you can do off the bat because you've never done it before. But let's build up some resilience to hit that goal. Okay, let's go for 50 meters. All right, let's do that 10 times. What does that come to? 500 meters. Okay, how long did it take you to do that? Oh, okay, it took me this amount of time. Okay, well maybe next time I can increase it to 100 meters. Or what did I say? 50? Yeah, 100 meters. Okay, how many cows did I burn in that 100 meters? Sweet. And then you just keep on nitpicking until you actually build the knowledge enough for you to go, okay.
Build your fitness capacity.
Build your fitness capacity and build your knowledge on the actual exercise itself or on the actual task itself. So then that way you're also, as well as building resilience, you're building knowledge on it. So then you're pretty much backing yourself with the evidence for that knowledge. Sorry, you're backing yourself with the evidence for the outcome. So then when you relay it to someone, you can be like, oh, this is how I did it. And you're then able to teach resilience to someone as well. This is how I did it. I did it like this. If you want to
It's not really teaching resilience. Like you can't really, I
Can't
feel like you
teach
can't really
resilience.
teach resilience because it's like, it's something that you have to build in yourself.
Well, teaching the method then, in a sense.
You
Teaching
can't really teach. So resilience is something that you have to build in yourself. You can't tell someone you need to become more resilient because it's a mental battle in their own head.
Correct.
Because in their own head they're like, all right, being resilient is not giving up. You know, and how do you teach someone to not give up? You can't force someone to just not give up because, you know, if they're going to give up, they're going to give up. If they're the type of person to give up, they're still going to give up at the end of the day. Like you can't really teach someone the skills to not give up other than, you know, telling them, you know, if you want this, you have to become resilient. Yeah. So a lot of people come to us with goals. You know, someone will come to us with a goal of, you know, achieving a marathon. That's a good example. But then they don't train.
Yeah.
They're not doing their 5K runs. They're not doing their 10K runs because they don't have the discipline to go out there and go for their runs and stuff. They need to become resilient enough to be able to keep on going and not give up. Because if they really want to get to 42 Ks, they've got to become a resilient person.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm saying the teaching methods for the fitness side of things.
The fitness side of things.
The fitness side of things, like you're able to teach someone that in a whole because you haven't built your own resilience, but you've been able to train yourself and understand what resilience is for you or how you can use resilience to your advantage
to get you to a point from point A to B.
Which you can't teach someone resilience, but you can teach them
the method of how to build up to something big.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. But that's true as well. Like you can't teach resilience; it has to come within. Otherwise, you're just.
All we can do is basically give you what you like to say the roadmap to success.
Yeah.
Like if your goal is to get from you're here. Everyone is here. Like today, right now, I'm here. But my goal is to get over here, whatever that might be. So for me, I know that I want to eventually enter a jiu-jitsu competition. You know, let's just say that because that's what we were talking about before. Now, for me to get there, I need to know that I've got enough skills that I would be able to prevent submissions, but also put someone into submissions. I know I don't have those skills yet. So it's going to take me some time to develop those skills before I have the confidence to be able to get on those mats. I've got to make sure that I'm turning up to training every week. I've got to make sure that I'm putting in time and effort into the sport, but I'm also resilient enough to keep on going without giving up. If I give up, then it's going to take me a lot longer to get there. You know, I give up once, it's more of a step back. Give up another time, more of a step back.
Yeah.
If I just keep on going, even if I'm going up slowly by slowly. A really good example of this is people, you know, those Jan 1st, new me's, they go headstrong into their fitness goals. They start training, they go from not training at all to training 5 to 6 times a week. They go up and then bang, fall. Because they don't realise that, yeah, it's cool, everyone can train. You can train 5 or 6 times a week, but you can't go from 0 to 5 or 6 because then what happens? You're going to do that for a few weeks, then you're eventually going to miss maybe a session or 2. Then you're going to get discouraged in your head like, oh shit, I missed my Friday session. That means I didn't do legs this week. Oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do this.
And then
next week you'll be like, oh, I missed Saturday, no point going today. oh, I missed Monday and Saturday, no point going today, then it's going to snowball, you're going to give up.
And then you're not training for about 3 months.
Whereas if you have but if you have the mindset that, oh shit, I skipped yesterday, let's just go today. Oh, I skipped yesterday, maybe I should rest today, go tomorrow. Like if you have the plan to just keep on going, that's resilience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, I feel like a lot of people when it comes to like a career change as well, like building the resilience to actually do something new or find something new, like building up to something like leaving a job, and then that's a whole nother challenge in itself. So you've done this peak where you've learned a new job, you're sweet, everything's going well, 2 years later, you want to leave, bang. Okay, how am I going to build my resilience up again to find a career path that suits me? Okay, let's take a step back. What do I like doing? Like a lot of people that I've trained as of recently have gone down different paths. So one of my clients, Lachlan, for instance, he was going down the route of wanting to become a DJ. And he was like,
I wasn't doing that anymore.
Nah.
What's it doing?
Sold it off. And he's like,
Really?
I'm just focusing on my career now.
Oh, what's that?
He works for like government planning and stuff. So
Fair enough.
he does all that stuff. But he was obviously battling with that in his head and going, which avenue do I take? So he was at that fork in the road. He had to build some sort of mental strength to go, okay, what do? I can't do 7 million different things at once. I got to pick one and I got to stick with it. And worst comes to worst, I know I've now built some sort of resilience to figure it out.
And not give up.
So he found that fork in the road. He chose a path that he was more comfortable with, and now he's going down that path.
And he's got the resilience to stick on that.
Correct.
That's what it is, yeah. All right.
That's I feel like what happened with me when I left F45 to go to Vision.
Yeah, but you've been really resilient in the health and fitness industry.
I think that's the one. Yeah, that's the big thing.
For you, like you got into the fitness industry and you've kind of always stayed in it. You knew, somehow you kind of knew, oh, this is the industry for me, and you haven't left since. And that's hard. A lot of people find difficulty in that, like being so young and knowing which industry, which job, whatever it is. Like, you jumped from job to job, you did group training, you did one-on-one PT, you worked at gyms or whatever, but you were still in the same industry and it was still very similar roles.
I've never looked at it.
You're still coaching in some way.
Yeah.
You were coaching groups, but you're still coaching groups today. You're still doing one-on-ones today. You're still doing some variation of what you've learnt over the years. So in a way, you've been resilient in the health and fitness industry. You haven't left. You haven't given up. And the thing about the health and fitness industry as well, it is a very difficult industry to be in long term. It's got the highest staff turnover, biggest staff turnover. PTs don't last 6 months. That's the average turnover for a PT is 6 months, and we've been PTs for 4 years. 4 years now. So I feel like, not tooting our own horns, but we've been resilient enough to surpass where most people would give up, right? Most people would give up after 6 months because they realise, like, oh, I'm reliant on clients. I'm reliant on people turning up. I'm reliant on good weather. I'm reliant on my own time. I'm reliant on waking up early in the morning, whatever. It takes a special kind of person not a special kind of person, but like a type of person that is willing to put in that hard work for other people. Because at the end of the day, we're just coaching people to make better health and fitness related decisions as PTs.
It all comes down to us guiding them.
We're just guiding them. Yeah. That's all it is. And, a therapist doesn't really give you advice, do they? They kind of just
ask you questions.
Find out the information that is in your own head already by asking you targeted questions to get you to talk about them. So they're guiding you. Yeah. They're just pointing you in the right direction. You're giving yourself the answers. They're just unlocking the things that you're already thinking, but in a more streamlined and proper way. As coaches or health and fitness coaches, we're just promoting this health and fitness lifestyle, helping you make better decisions in yourself. I'm not forcing you to go for your walks. I'm just guiding you towards going for those walks in a better way. And my best example of this is I've got a client of mine that I've been training for 3 years now. She finds difficulty in training outside of our sessions. I only see her once a week, but I've been seeing her once a week for a long time. Yeah. And one thing that I've promoted for her is she loves hiking. So every weekend without fail, she goes on a hike with her partner, her kid, or her friends. Yeah. And I know firsthand, if I go to hike, she's going to go for a hike that's going to be at least 2 to 3 hours because she's got that free time on the weekend to do so. That's 2 to 3 hours of walking. She's at least hitting 10 to 15,000 steps in that one hit. And that's not including the walking she does in the morning, walking she does after the hike as well. That's an exercise session to me.
I feel like the industry that we're in is very rewarding in that sense. Like we are able to guide someone through. I won't call it a fear, but like it's just something that they're hesitant about taking the next step on, because it's all either.
It can be daunting for people.
Yeah, for sure. And
to take that step, that initial step, and we're just helping them we're just making it easier for them to make that change, because we can just be like, look, from our own experiences, I find it hard. Like I told my clients about my own lifestyle. Like I tell them that on the weekends I sink a few beers. On the weekends I have a good palmy in my hand. I'm not some health and fitness freak that trains every day. Yeah. I miss sessions. There was a period of time, this was last year when we were like really busy with work, where I didn't train for like a whole month. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Me and you both. Anyway, we were working like big hours and I didn't train the whole month. My average steps those weeks were like 3,000 to 5,000 a day. And that was only like walking to and from my car for my sessions and stuff like that. I was gone.
But the feeling
my
was so
clients were
weird.
training a lot more than me.
Yeah.
And I was going to my sessions and I was like, my God, this guy's getting a 45-minute workout here. I'm giving him homework to do another 3 sessions this week. So my clients were, on average, training at least doing 3 times 45-minute sessions a week on average. And I was doing 0 minutes of exercise or planned exercise. And I looked at that and I was like, that's crazy. The coach is getting paid, it's helping people create exercise or promote exercise in their life where I wasn't actually doing it for myself. I felt like shit that whole time.
It's crazy, when you take a step back and go, okay, if I'm able to tell someone what to do and how to balance their life,
how come I can't
do it? And you start to question it. Like I think that's why the PTs sort of drop off, because they don't realize that they have to put into play what they speak. And like I've noticed that. Well, we've noticed that recently. Like we see each other nearly every second day. And now we've gotten to the point where it's like, okay, we need to have fitness in our life. We need to have balance in our life. We need to have this. We need to have that. And these are all things that we tell our clients.
Yeah.
But we forget sometimes that we need that.
We need to do that too. Yeah.
That reoccurring, like, all right, you need to do this. This is your homework this week. Like,
I actually had one of the nutritionists, one of our nutrition friends, I talked to her this week. And she was telling me that she was actually going to be a PT. Like she was actually going to become a personal trainer herself. But the reason why she didn't go down the personal training route and instead chose nutrition was because she felt like if she actually went into the personal training world, she probably would have loved it, but she felt like she was actually going to fall less in love with training. And she was going to stop training as hard as she is now, or like pull back a little bit because of how much she's promoting it in other people's lives. And I felt that because I was like, I'm teaching all these people these things. It's actually making me love it less because I'm seeing it all day long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't do that for me personally.
Yeah.
Like I still get excited to go to the gym, still get excited to go football, jits, whatever it might be. But I feel like that's because I found my passion in sports.
Yeah, that's a good point, because like a lot of people don't really find what they love doing.
They just do it for their health.
They do it for their health, but through their work, it's hard to find a passion unless you figure it out.
Yeah.
So like she obviously figured it out. She took a step back. She goes, okay, I love this too much to let anything get in the way of it. I'm gonna go down a different path that still involves it.
But nutrition and personal training are pretty similar industries.
Yeah.
Like they're both coaches.
Yeah, you don't explain yourself. Like, that's very self-explanatory.
Everyone kind of knows.
It's
A
self-explanatory.
nutritionist is someone that helps you with your food.
And a PT is someone that helps you with your fitness. That's it.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. I feel like sometimes a lot of people misunderstand. Is that a word?
Yeah, misunderstand
Misunderstand.
both of them.
Yeah. And
misunderstand nutritionists and misunderstand PTs
like,
as well.
I spoke to someone today and he had never heard of the 80-20 rule.
Really? The 80% nutrition, 20%
He had no
training?
idea.
Really?
He'd never heard of it. He's from a small town in Queensland. Never really heard of anything like that. And I was kind of just explaining to him, like, you know, without the right nutrition.
Is that actually backed by science, like the 80-20?
I don't know. Some people say 70-30. It's just.
I don't think it's actually like an actual figure.
It's not an actual figure, but it's just
but
a
like
blanket
it's a good
statement.
thing for people to understand.
It's a blanket statement.
Like that nutrition plays a big role, especially if your goal is body composition.
Yeah.
Like you can train yourself to the ground, but your body won't be looking any different if you haven't been fixing the nutrition or what's coming into your body.
It's like filling up your car with diesel when it's petrol.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the best analogy I got from.
You can still drive it as the same amount,
but it's not going to run right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine you have KFC every single day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Your body's not going to want to function properly whatsoever because you're just feeding it.
I get sick after the second meal.
You get sick, you know. But once in a blue moon, you put, you know, it's not the worst food in the world. It's like putting 94 in the car instead of 95.
That's a weird thing, right? I don't like fast food.
I don't either.
Like McDonald's, KFC.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to view this statement as like, oh, you know, he's just a PT, he's a health freak or whatever. Like, everyone likes those foods. Whenever I go on road trips, always get Maccas, without a doubt. I always get like a 24-pack of nuggets, whatever it might be. You know, when it's late at night and I'm coming out from clubbing, Maccas.
Yeah.
You know? I occasionally have KFC as well because I love the chicken there. I never shy away from foods. I love having pizza. I love my pastas. I eat a shit ton of food, and if I took a photo, if you follow my Instagram, you'll see some of the foods I eat. It's, yeah. I wouldn't say, you would see it and be like, yeah, this guy's not healthy.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to make is, just because you see someone making poor health choices with their food, it could be related to the fact that they don't know much about it.
Mm.
They don't have the
It's
information, the education. They don't have enough education about what they should and what they shouldn't be putting into their body. Now, I am very limited in my knowledge when it comes to nutrition. I'm not a nutritionist by any means, but being around the nutrition team now, I do know quite a bit more.
You have a better understanding.
I have a better understanding of it. And what one of them taught me is, as a PT, just learn the Australian dietary guidelines.
Mm.
Right? And
they're apparently adjusting that as well.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I saw it on the news
ever since that coach told me that, I've been using it like an animal.
Mm.
Like an animal. I've been using it heaps. Basically, you know that pyramid. There's a few different formats that you can see it in.
Yeah.
But like there's one where it's a pyramid, and the top of the pyramid is like the occasional foods, like, you know, your chocolates and you know, I guess your pizzas and your snacky type foods. Maybe your Maccas and stuff goes in there. Your high fat foods. They would go in the occasional. It's still in the same food pyramid as your dairy products, as your veggies, as your fruits. It's just at the top where there's the smallest amount.
Mm.
Now, I just believe, and this is what I teach people, is still have those foods. I need those foods in my life because if I don't have them, I'm going to end up binge eating them anyway, right? Because I know that I'm going to crave chocolates. I love chocolate. I'm a fucking chocolate fiend. If I don't have chocolate in my life, I'm going to start losing myself. I'm like, man, I'm gonna need to have a whole chocolate bar. Mm. The point I'm trying to make here is it shouldn't make up a big portion of your diet. If chocolate is making up to a bigger portion of your diet than it should be, and it should be around that 5 to 10%, then you're doing it wrong. You should be getting most of your food from whole foods and then only a small percentage from those fun foods at the end of the day. Yeah, that's basically my best explanation. But if you want more help with your nutrition, we'll plug our nutrition team below this video.
We'll put them below. Like the beauty of what...
We'll plug our website. Just go and inquire through the website.
I feel like that's obviously
lesson,
a good lesson, yes.
Because that's what I use. I've been using since year 9, basically. Like, majority of your food should come from carbohydrates.
Yeah. It's just
30% from protein.
Yeah, it's like blanket statement stuff.
Yeah.
But it's all stuff that you've heard, you've seen, and then it's now like
putting it into practice.
Now it's
Because
putting
not
it
many
into
people
practice.
put the stuff that they learn into practice. It's just about doing it.
Yeah.
I feel like I have the resilience to do it. We've said resilience, I think, around 100 times in this podcast so far.
Yeah.
So I'm naming this podcast Resilience.
Resilience.
Find your resilience.
Now, I'm very resilient with heat, but it is freaking hot today.
Your
I'm
Aussie mate.
sweating
Your Aussie.
like a...
Do you reckon they can see it? Am I glistening, guys?
You are glistening.
Whoa. Right, I'm jacked to I'm taking up the whole screen. You know, what was it that I was talking about the other day? I was talking about this to my one of our friends the other day. Like, they were struggling with finding their ikigai, finding their purpose. So, like, they had a book. It was when we went on that trip last week. They had the Ikigai book, which is that Japanese book.
Yep.
I asked them what it meant, and it basically meant the title in Japanese just means finding your purpose, or how to find your purpose.
How to find your purpose.
Something, yeah, how to find your purpose, something like that. Now, when we were talking about it, I asked him like, "Oh, so you've read the book? Have you found your purpose?" No, was his answer, by the way. So what would you say is your, like, have you read the book?
No.
Okay.
But I know about Ikigai.
Okay, so what would you say, how would you find your purpose? Because I know you've kind of found yours.
Yeah.
How would you teach someone to find theirs?
It's similar to resilience, where you can't really teach someone to find it. But I think it's about having a very open mind to everything around you and learning a lot from your past experiences to your current experiences, comparing them and seeing what is the biggest similarity. Does that make sense?
That's a good answer.
So like seeing what
I actually understood that. I don't
Yeah.
know if everyone else can understand.
Yeah,
so let me English it.
Sorry, I would have been a bit crazy.
Let me English what he just said. Basically what no, I forgot what you said. Basically what you were saying was
how to find your purpose. It's not something that you can teach. It's not that someone you can teach someone.
Yes, it's about like finding. Look at your life.
Yeah.
That's it. Look at your life. I don't know how old the person that's reading this is going to be right now, but have a look at your life. What is something that you've always done, or something that you've always maintained throughout your life that you've enjoyed?
Or it may be someone else that has witnessed your whole life. Because like in the sense of finding your purpose or finding your passion or finding what makes you
Get up every day and do stuff, you know what I mean?
You may not be able to see, but someone else may be able to see. And that someone is someone that's just a very observant person. So you ask them questions on, what do you think I am good at? What do you think I'm best at?
Yeah, but then also really questioning why you do what you do. You know, because let's think of some examples. I don't know, someone that is an avid reader.
Yeah.
You know, I knew some avid readers at school. They read a lot of, it was more like novels, like what are they called?
Like Harry Potter and
all stuff like that.
Like the non-fiction books.
Yeah, non-fiction books. Now, don't disgrace it at all. I never read books back then.
Fiction? No, there's fiction and non-fiction. Which one's
I can't remember which one's which. And I read all the time, eh? I think it's fiction, the fake one.
Yeah.
Where stories. Anyways, it was stories. It was based on stories and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
Brendon.
maybe do a quick Google search.
Right.
And if you're an avid reader and you don't know what your purpose is, maybe start questioning why you read, why you enjoy reading, how much time you actually set aside in your life to read, and then start answering those questions in yourself. Maybe actually write them down, and you'll realize like, oh, I like reading because of this. I dedicate this amount of time to reading for this purpose. And there's so many different things you can do with that. You can actually, if you read that much and that often, maybe you can even write your own books. Maybe you can even share with the world what you've experienced from reading these books. You can tell the world, oh, this book was really good because of this. You can become a book critic. There's so many different paths you can take.
Yeah, I think the beauty of it is the fact that there's no
right or wrong answer to life. Anyone can do whatever you want in life. We decided one day to become podcasters. Why? Why not? We talk so much shit, and we decided, why don't we do it in front of a camera? It will be fun. And eventually we know that we're going to get guests on, and eventually that's going to be a little bit of a different touch, because we have a lot of friends in different worlds.
And the thing is that like, it's not us trying to find our purpose, it's literally just us being us. We figured out that we're good at speaking to people, and we're good at conversation, and we're good at talking for 40 plus minutes.
Oh my God, yeah.
And even in the heat, like, we've managed to sit here for 40 minutes and talk in the heat.
But Aussies can deal with heat. But this is our main climate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, purpose. I definitely know that I know what my purpose is. I know what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And it's this type of stuff.
Yeah. It's just, I say it to you and all my friends all the time, like, my purpose is just about giving back and being grateful. I think having gratitude in your life is a big playmaker.
I love that word.
Yeah,
I love that word. Boing.
Gratitude. Gratitude.
Whenever I hear that word or say that word, I just picture you flinging that thing back and letting it hit the bong.
The gong.
The gong.
It's not the bong. It makes the bong sound, but it's so freaking hot. But I think one of the most important things when it comes to finding your passion is learning how to become more grateful in your surroundings. Like, being a lot more, obviously, open-minded is one of them, but having a lot of gratitude on your side projects out a lot of positivity that will be sort of returned in its place.
But don't expect it. That's a big thing mistake people make. A lot of people make the mistake of doing nice things for a short period of time because they expect it to come back to them.
Yeah.
And when they don't expect it to come back to them in a certain time frame, they start getting upset and they fully pull back.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people that might just start being nice all of a sudden. They'll start being nice to everyone. They'll start doing things that is out of the ordinary for themselves.
It's like a 360.
And then they start noticing that, oh, wait, no one's returning the favor. Then they fully stop.
Yeah.
They fully stop being that person. It's like, oh, so they were doing it for a certain purpose. Where you should, if you're a nice person, you're going to be nice all day long. Doing it for a purpose means you're doing it for the wrong reasons, the wrong intentions. I really believe that you need to have the right intentions for the actions that you're trying to put out into the world. And then if it comes back with a positive, if it comes back to you in a positive way, that's a benefit.
It's like good karma.
Yeah, that's a benefit, but you shouldn't expect it.
Yeah.
Like, it's good, but don't have that expectation it's going to come back, because it's not all the time it's going to happen, right? Now, the reason why gratitude always comes up in my head is, do you remember when we went to that Buddhist temple?
Yeah. It was actually called the gratitude gong.
It was called the gratitude gong. We got a video on our Instagram of you just hitting it. It's got like 11k views or something. It
was literally a gong at the top of a hill, and you were meant to just pull it back,
think about what you're grateful for.
Say things and think things that you were grateful for in your head. And then as soon as you released it, it was just a long ding. It was like a perfect vibration, perfect frequency.
It's going through your head, whatever you're thinking. So he's finishing it. the sound is still going. I can see he's in some meditative state, and he's walking back towards me. I've got the camera on him. I'm like, what are you grateful for? And he just looks up and he's like,
leave me alone. I'm trying to be grateful here. But that's I think that's when you learn to be grateful, it aligns with you finding your purpose, and then with that comes success and growth and understanding that those two sort of, sometimes they're two separate definitions as well as a whole. Success and growth go hand in hand sometimes. You can't succeed without growth, and you can't grow without personal success.
Yes, yeah. And success can be seen in very different ways. People always see success as the people with the mansion, or the people that live on the beach, or the people with the Lambo. Like, yeah, that's signs of maybe financial success.
Yeah.
You know, that's signs of that person has achieved great finances or great wealth in their lifetime.
It's
right?
a defined success avenue.
It's a visual, it's a physical. Physically, you can see this person has been successful in their financial endeavors. Whether that was a business, maybe they were good at saving, maybe they were very frugal throughout their life.
Maybe they got brought up in a wealthy family. Like, there's so many different
many different ways that you could have got there.
Yeah.
But I believe the true measure of success is not defined by finances. You know, a true measure of success is how content you are with your life and where you are at that certain part of time. Now, we are not financially successful at all right now. No, I wouldn't say we're financially successful at all. But I would say right now, I'm so content with where I am in my current life because I'm doing what I love. I'm surrounding myself around the people that I love spending time with.
Yeah.
I don't spend my time with people that were not adding value to my life anymore, and I've pushed myself away from those people, and now I've found my environment that I'm thriving in, and I seriously wake up in the morning excited to see what that day holds. I'm excited about what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen the next day, what's a new thing that I'm going to introduce into my world, because I have the power to create new things in my work, the power to create new things in my relationships, and I'm loving it. So to me, that's success. And the growth behind it is just learning what I do and don't love, and then getting the things that I don't love out of my life, getting the things I do love more in my life. So
it's all about adapting.
Yeah.
I think growth is all about self-awareness and adapting and
adapting
change.
to the new things that happen in your life. Because, you know, life is not easy. You know, no matter what people think, life is not easy. You're gonna be thrown in all these hurdles every single day for the rest of your life. And a big thing that I've always thought about is having faith. Having faith, because I grew up in a Catholic household. I know you did too.
Yeah.
And I know the Christian faith is very beautiful. I love it, and it is one of the most followed religions in the world. Well, it's one of. But let's just say it's one of.
Yeah.
And to me, a lot of people view religion very differently. A lot of people go super into a religion to the point that they don't see views of other people. And I feel like that is a very wrong belief, because every single religion that I've studied or I know of, it always talks about the only teaching that I know is from the Catholic religion. Jesus' commandment to love was love one another as I have loved you. And Jesus, when he walked the earth, you hear all their stories of how he just loved everyone. Everyone was his family. Everyone was his brother. It didn't matter what the color of their skin was, what religion they followed, what faith they had. Everyone was equal to him. Now, to me, I would view that as no matter what your religion, you shouldn't fight with other people just because they have a different belief system to you. Now, all these wars that have happened in the years have been related to religion, because that person believes in the Islam faith. This person is a Buddhist. Oh, we don't like them because they don't believe in Christianity or Jesus or whatnot. That is so wrong, because Jesus taught to love one another as I've loved you. And I feel like the more I've studied this, the more I've researched it, the more I've gone deep into the religion rabbit hole, I've realized that I don't really want to be defined by those walls that have been created all of a sudden.
And there's an underlying similar conversation in each each religion.
Yeah,
Like
and
love is always a big thing in the
every single
Quran, in the
religion.
Bible, like in all the avenues of religion.
And people see them as, oh, they're bad, when they're not. They actually have the same beliefs as us, just portrayed in a different way. But
This topic is definitely a
We can-
topic that can go on forever.
we can probably talk on a whole podcast about this.
Probably. But there is one podcast, the Andrew Tate. Don't roast me for this, but the Andrew Tate and Georgienko one.
Oh, you told me about that one, yeah.
And
where they talk about religion, right?
They talk about religion, and Andrew Tate follows the Islamic
Religion.
Quran.
The Quran, yeah, and he's Catholic,
And
right?
he's Catholic, and they had a great debate on how equal one another should be, or how equal each religion should be.
Which just goes to show.
Which just goes to show, like pretty much what they said was that each religion has the capability to understand and be open-minded to both beliefs.
Toto!
Understand that both beliefs are different.
There is place for
There is
multiple religions in the world.
Yeah.
And what I believe a religion is good for, it's about providing people with a set of beliefs, a set of belief systems to follow and utilize to make better decisions in their life, right? You know, there's a lot of people that everyone, I feel like everyone needs to have some sort of faith.
Yeah.
You know, even if they might not follow religion, they might just have faith in something else.
Yeah.
Or internal faith in something.
Yeah.
You know, whatever that might be. People are very spiritual. I used to meditate, and I still sort of do. And for me, that's about calming my mind and making sure that I'm always ready to make bigger and better decisions in my life. And for me, that's part of my faith. And over the years, my faith has always developed into new and different things and evolved, just like the Evolv podcast, right? A little plug.
And on that wonderful end to a podcast, I think we might leave it there.
Yeah, it is pretty hot.
It
Guys,
is
just
very
make sure you stay resilient
And stay
and
hydrated.
if you're and stay hydrated. And if you're religious, what do you
be
want to
open-minded.
be open-minded, please. If we're gonna ask them our audience of anything, if
Just
you're
be
one of
open-minded
those,
is what we
if
say.
you're one of those people that it's your religion or the highway, stop watching us.
Yeah. Oh, it's like
Stop watching us. Like,
just
actually,
just be prepared. Just
Be prepared
that
to,
there's gonna be stuff that we say that may not align with what you believe.
with your
but
beliefs, yeah, because we're very open-minded, and like we're Catholics that have gone to Buddhist temples, and I want to see I want to go to Mecca one day. Like, it just goes to show that even though we're not tied to anything, but we have the faith that if you always put good in the world, then you're always going to be fine yourself.
That is correct.
Love and leave you guys.